Uh,
Alrighty, let's get straight into it.
yes,
First episode,
sir.
let's start with the biggest game of the year already, which is Super Bowl 57, Chiefs Eagles. Chiefs win 38-35 in the classic, fourth all-time highest scoring Super Bowl
Mahomes,
of all time.
second
The
ring, baby.
homeboy,
Well
the
deserved. Well
homeboy with the
deserved.
win. Um, this was like an all-time game. I'm University of Missouri, so bunch of Chiefs fans running around here. Game was lit. Atmosphere was amazing with all the cheering fans and stuff like that. First thoughts, Dan. What are your first thoughts on the game?
Man, my first thoughts. At first, it was looking grim. Halftime, it was looking very grim. But the first half, it was just jam packed. And then there was the scoop and score. I think that was honestly probably my favorite play of the game.
Nick
Not because I was
Bone,
rooting for the Chiefs. Yeah, Nick
Mizume,
Ball.
Nick
He
Bone,
was
Mizume,
Mizzou.
Mizume, baby.
That's huge. That's huge. That's huge.
First touchdown scored by a Mizzou player ever in Super Bowl history.
That's
So that's pretty
huge.
lit.
That's big time on a
Yes,
big
sir.
time play too.
Yeah.
But my first thoughts, man, that first drive when they deferred, they kicked the ball off to the Eagles. I'm like, okay, uh, I don't see why you would do that, but I guess Andy Reid was kind of like trying to play into their hands or whatever, and just give them what they want. He wanted to see how they'd fare, I guess. And to be honest, me too, because I wasn't completely sold on the Eagles entirely. Uh, had a very good regular season, very good, and I was super high on Jalen Hurts always. Even when he was sitting behind Carson Wentz, I always knew he was capable of things that he's doing right now. But I don't know why I just was not sold throughout the playoffs. They didn't really face. I mean, they faced good teams, good clubs, but not really. You know what I mean? Nothing like the Chiefs. It's a different monster. Anything in the AFC, they didn't really see in comparison in the NFC. So when they came out on that first drive and they scored like just like that, real efficiently too, and that touchdown, I think it was AJ Brown caught the first touchdown over two DBs, bro. I'm like, whoa, whoa. The Eagles coming out. It
Uh,
wasn't even by rushing either. So
no, it was a Jalen Hurts 1 yard rushing
oh,
touchdown.
my bad. That was you're right. You're right. You're right.
QB
You're right.
QB sneak up the middle. Yeah, it's all right. First episode, gotta
My
get some things
bad. My
right or
bad.
whatever.
It was the
But
second
no,
touchdown then.
yeah. I think this is what the Eagles do.
Mm,
Eagles are perfect on script, and the first half they're literally the best team in the NFL, right?
yeah.
They blow out teams in the first half. They go up on these big leads, but in the second half, they don't seem to be able to pull away. They always seem to keep the team around and let the team back in. And if you're letting the Kansas City Chiefs still in the game, they're the
It's
comeback
not
kids
gonna
of the
end good.
NFL. Like they're gonna come back every single time. Down
It's
10, I was like, they got Mahomes, they'll be fine. Andy Reid, those second half adjustments, being able to get pressure on Jalen Hurts in that second half, making him uncomfortable in the pocket and stuff like that, game changer. I knew the Eagles. I think they've scored on first drive touchdowns. I think 12 games this season. First drive they scored a touchdown. So
Yeah, they
um,
said that's
I
something like
knew
that on the broadcast.
they can get up and down the field quickly, and they can punch you in the mouth immediately, but they can't give you that knockout punch to end the game and end the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think personally, like overall, the Eagles were a better team. Like structurally, they have
Most
every
definitely.
position besides quarterback and tight end and coach. They have the best skill player at every single position.
Most
But the
definitely.
most important people on the field, quarterback.
I'm gonna
So
be
that's
honest.
exactly why
Hold
I
on.
had the Chiefs winning this game. I had the
True.
Chiefs winning 31-27.
I'm gonna be honest. I was with you. I think Isaiah Pacheco is better than any running back that the Eagles have. My bad, but yeah, you was right with the quarterback one. You was right with the quarterback one. Mahomes. You were talking about the Eagles. No, you're talking about the Chiefs putting pressure on Jalen Hurts that second half. I don't. I mean, maybe the Eagles were trying to get to pressure Mahomes, but even on a bum ankle, dude, you did not feel it. You didn't feel it.
Bro, like he was not sacked one time the entire game. Not
It's just
one
different,
time.
different
Eagles
level of
scored. Eagles
awareness.
had the third most sacks in NFL history. They were two away from the 85 Chicago Bears,
Yeah,
bro.
and they
They didn't
didn't
get a
touch the
single
kid.
sack on a one-legged Patrick Mahomes. That is the most shocking stat line that this entire Super Bowl was that they couldn't sack him even once. Everyone going in the game was like, "Yeah, Eagles defensive line, they're gonna have a field day on Mahomes. Mahomes is gonna have to get the ball out in like within 2 seconds." And then Orlando Brown after the game was saying he didn't have any grass stains on him. He didn't get sacked one time. put that on a T-shirt. He said. He said,
Yeah.
put that on a T-shirt. Not sack 0 times in the Super Bowl. Chiefs offense came to play. They knew exactly what was being told before this game started. They knew that the Eagles' defensive line is gonna be no match for the Chiefs' offensive line. Chiefs' offensive line took that to heart, and they came out with a donut in the sack column.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts was sacked twice in the second half, so Chiefs defense played better than the freaking Eagles defense, and that was not the case going into the game. Everyone said, "Oh, Eagles defense is way better than Chiefs defense and stuff like that." Chiefs historically during the seasons when home like the last 5 years, they're not good during the regular season, but as the playoffs go on, Spagnuolo, their defensive coordinator, they always seem to get it on track right at the right time with
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jones and stuff like that. They had Tyrann Mathieu like last 2
Yeah.
years, a couple years ago. He would come up big in the playoffs, and they just seem to like get it going at the right time during the playoffs.
That's right too. I mean, I forgive me if I'm mistaken, but Mahomes' first year as a starter, he didn't go to the Super Bowl, did he? He
He
lost to
didn't even
Brady,
win.
right?
He didn't start or his first
His first year as a
time he
starter,
started.
he didn't make it all the way, right? He went to the conference chip and they lost to.
They
Was
lost in
that?
overtime to D Ford being offside. That was the time that D Ford was lined up offsides, and then they got the first
Oh,
down, and Brady and
that's
went marching on
right.
the field in overtime. Mahomes has gone to 5 straight AFC Championship games at home every single year he has started in the National Football League. That is the greatest
That's saying something.
5 year
In the
greatest
AF,
start in NFL history for a quarterback.
yeah, in the AFC, it's nothing easy in the AFC, man. There's nothing easy. The Bills and the Bengals started off horrible this year, and they found themselves in a conference game, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
I
saying. The
mean,
AFC is legit, and if the Ravens would have been right up there too if Lamar hadn't got injured. So, and the Dolphins, if Tua didn't go through what he went through this season too, they would have been somewhere in that conversation as well. It's a lot of competitive teams. The Chargers, they disappointed this year. They were supposed to be up there, but
right. I
I
mean, keep
go
going,
ahead.
keep going.
No, I was alluding to that the game where they lost against, I think it was the Patriots or Brady's last year as a Patriot. I'm not, my memory's foggy, forgive me. But you see the difference between back then and now. Mahomes, he was fighting for his life. The line was not what it was back then as it is right now. And that just shows to be like, if you invest in the big guys will win you the big games, dude. Will win you the big games. Orlando Brown, they got him from the Chiefs, and Trey Smith, I think their guard, pretty good, dude. Those guys, they hold it down for the line, and then they have Joe Thuney too. They have a great group up there, man. Great big guys, and then Chris Jones, he's been there, he's been holding it down. Uh, those guys, they make game changing plays, bro. At the front, if you can cause enough pressure and make it a QB, and unless they have the mentality like of a Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes, then you know what I mean. As long as you, what's the word I'm looking for? If you sack them, man, that's the only way you're really going to be able to take them out to play. Because those guys, they'll be able to get off a pass no matter what or create something no matter what if you let them. But you just got to wreak havoc in the front ends, I feel like, and it shows on the biggest stages like this one, or be able to hold off and contain and allow your playmakers to make plays, and that's exactly what happened. Mahomes, he was dotting up anybody if you gave him time. He was fighting Kelsey middle of the field. They were hitting these whip routes like crazy. They threw two of them back to back. One of them was to Juju. No, Juju got held on one, but they threw one to Tony. Tony's a great pickup. They threw that zig route. He got a touchdown. Sky Moore got one too. I can go on and on about that offense, that Andy Reid offense, baby. Andy Reid offense. I just fall in love with
Andy
football
Reid
every
is
time I watch it.
he's definitely the greatest creatively offensive schematically coach probably ever. I mean Sean Payton, I mean Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan obviously get their credit as they should, but
Kyle Shanahan for
I
sure.
mean the ability for Andy Reid to be this old and he is still like
He's
in the
still innovating. He's
nuances
still
of
making
the
new
league.
stuff.
I mean,
He's not out of date.
not to throw shade at Bill Belichick, but he's still stuck in his old ways.
Yeah.
They don't have a number one wide receiver.
Mm-mm.
They don't have a number one running back. They don't have the skill set and skilled players to be able to compete with Bengals, Chiefs, Bills, Dolphins, Ravens, Chargers. I mean, I can just keep going on. That's six
Yeah.
teams that they just like skill wise they just can't compete with. And I think this was like the craziest part of this too. If you go back to the Chiefs Buccaneers Super Bowl, that's when they rebuilt. That said, okay, we got to rebuild the offensive line.
Oh, it
Mahomes
was the
literally
Chiefs Bucks. My
was,
bad. Yeah.
yeah, he was running. He ran like over I think 3 football fields worth of like just scrambling and running around to try to get open during that entire game. And they went in that off season. Mahomes had already been paid, obviously,
Yeah.
and he's taking up 17% of the cap now. And for them to go to the Super Bowl with not a single number one wide receiver and win it, if you look at who scored the touchdowns, Sky Moore, Tony,
Kadarius Toney.
Kelsey,
Yeah.
Kelsey,
Isaiah
Isaiah
Pacheco got him
Pacheco.
one. He rushed one, but
Right. I mean, they didn't have a single number one wide receiver, and Mahomes was still able to do what he did with those guys and elevate them to be able to win the Super Bowl. I never thought like in this day and age in the NFL that you would be able to win a Super Bowl with not a single like number one, like pure number one wide receiver on the team. They traded Tyreek Hill, a top 3 or 5 wide receiver this offseason. People said, "Yep, they're done. This is a rebuild year. This is the year that everyone can
that just
trust the
doesn't
Chiefs,
happen
the
with every
Bengals, the
team, though.
Bills."
Yeah. What you say?
It's
That doesn't
super
happen
weird.
with every team, though. Like, you got to think of, dude. Mahomes only had he had. I'm looking at it right now. Under 200 yards pass. He had 182 passing yards. I mean, he threw for 3 tutties, but 182 passing yards. You're usually seeing Mahomes throw well over 330, something like that. That only happens with the great offensive minds that they have, or the talent that they have. They have the scheme. They have the ability to and personnel to run those type of schemes. But I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
No, you're good. It's just it's wild to see how open Travis Kelsey is on every play almost. Every time Travis Kelsey gets the ball, there's
You're
like
like,
no one within
you're
seven,
like,
eight
dude, is
yards
no
of
one
him. Like,
watching him?
I mean, he should be getting double team
That's what I'm
shell
saying.
coverage. Like,
But I
I don't
think
know how. Andy
that's
Reid
why,
schematically gets him open.
and
I
it's
mean,
so great to see because he plays within the game script, within the flow of the game, all the time. Because at first, like Kelsey was getting wide open and stuff like that, and they tried man coverage early on in the game. That's how Kelsey got his first touchdown over the shoulder. Darius Slay was guarding
That
him, but
best throw from Patrick Mahomes the entire game
yeah,
was that ball
it
there.
was money. It was money right there. Throw and catch, pitch and catch. But they started switching up the coverages later on, and I guess they started doubling Kelsey or whatever because you saw him get less and less involved as the game progressed. But that's when they started beating them on these motion. You call the receiver over, motion design plays and stuff like that, or RPO, whatever the design was. They started running the little whip routes that they were getting beat on every time because they were overplaying, over pursuing, and man, Andy Reid is just a genius, man. He's just a genius. He'll show you one look
Right.
and then change it up just like that, out of nowhere,
Well,
and he makes
on
everything.
those
Go ahead.
on those, I'll let you get back to what you were saying, but on those 2 plays specifically, Sky Moore and Tony, they're open 10 yards within the red zone. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't happen. That only happens in
Nah.
like high school football. That doesn't happen in the NFL. I mean, there's someone's draped over you. You're technically open in the NFL. You're not. I mean, if you get 1 yard on a player, you're open.
Mm-hmm.
But they were 10 yards. Like there's no one around
They
you. But
walked
I know
in. They walked in to the end zone.
Doug Peterson and Andy Reid are close friends. Like it's been reported or whatever. Doug Peterson, when the Jaguars and Eagles played each other during the season, I have a feeling Doug Peterson told Andy Reid that
Yeah.
Eagles secondary they cheat. They cheat a lot on motions and whips and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So if you can fake the jet like a whip around and have him whip back to the other side, he'll be open because they just cheat and cut everything off. So I think Andy Reid definitely did his homework, and he was saving those 2 specific plays for those key moments when they needed those touchdowns in the red zone. Like, just beautiful performance by Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Super Bowl MVP, well deserved to Mahomes too. Yeah.
Right. I want to get to Jalen Hurts though. Like we've been obviously talking about Mahomes and Randy Reid and Travis Kelsey and the boys that deserved it to be.
Yeah. The
Great.
winners, the rightful winners.
Jalen Hurts definitely had the best Super Bowl performance for a losing quarterback like I've ever seen. This is
You
his
think
first
so?
Super Bowl. I thought they were just gonna like pound the football out down the Chiefs, dude. And he's got 304 yards, 27 for 38.
4
He
tutties.
ran for 4 tutties, ran for 3. That's the most in for a quarterback in Super Bowl history. Like Jalen Hurts is the guy. Like he needs a
Yeah, I
blank
think he
check, and
silenced
they
any
need a
questions.
absolutely, dude. I didn't know he was gonna be the guy in Philadelphia when they drafted him. I knew he had a chance to be the guy, but specifically like him being like this good, this fast, like I didn't see coming.
I didn't. I don't know if I can say I didn't see it coming because, like I said, ever since the kid got drafted, I was super high on the guy. I hate Bama. I will come out and say this right now. I hate Alabama, but Jalen Hurts is one of the few Alabama players I actually genuinely like. Like I could see it even when he was playing. It was hard for me to root against the guy. The kid's just got it, man. He's just about it in every sense. In every sense, the kid's got the work ethic, the confidence, the mindset. He's just there, and he's completely present in the moment. And he did not let it go to waste. Like, dude, you know how many QBs would have bro? It kills me to say this because you know how big of a Cam Newton fan I was, still am. But let that be Cam Newton, what he was in 2015. Let that be Cam. You know what I mean? Switch places with him and Jalen. I don't think, you know what I mean, the game is even that close. I feel like after that's the fumble scoop and score, that offense probably would have folded. I don't know how he would have been mentally. But Jalen Hurts, he's got it, man. He's got that dog in him. I don't even want to say it, but he's got that dog in him, dude. You got that, dude. There's not too many QBs that can put up the performance like he did, and he carried. AJ Brown, Tay, they get their props, but he carried, bro. Because that defense, they let him down, man.
I will say this. This was definitely his biggest game ever. I felt like this game was like his redo of the national championship game where he got benched for Tua against Georgia when he got
much bigger stage, yeah.
It felt like this was like his I'm gonna rewrite this wrong for that moment, and he held that moment with grace when they won that national championship game, and he ran over to Tua and was hugging him and celebrating with him like he
It's the type of guy he is.
Yeah. Early on, you can just tell he was just mature for his age, and he's only 24 years old, and he's more mature than that.
He's 24.
I don't know if you saw that video when like there was a read, Nick Sirianni, or it was like a flag, and Nick Sirianni's like waving the Chiefs to come back or whatever, and like Jalen Hurts told him like put his hand down and just like focus on the game and stuff like that. Like for being 24 years old, he's got this team like they go when he goes.
Mm-hmm. And I think
it's just amazing to see.
It was such a hard decision to move. Or my bad. What were you saying?
I just said it was just amazing to see and watch.
Oh, okay. The steps it took to get here. It had to have been so hard to move a guy like Carson Wentz out, what he meant to the city of Philly, and then to put it all in such a big question mark at the time. To me, like I said, he wasn't a question mark. I keep it simple. I thought he had it, but a lot of people. The arm strength, they didn't know if he had the talent to read NFL defenses at NFL speed. They just didn't know if he was the complete package, if he was, just a great athlete. The work ethic, man, because he's made huge improvements in his game. Huge improvements in the passing game specifically. And I don't know, what more can I say? 4 tutties? The dude almost had, I'm looking at this, dude almost had 100 rushing yards. This dude was RB1 and QB1, dude. Miles Sanders, man, we're not gonna trash on the backs. We're not gonna trash on the backs.
They weren't getting him the ball.
I feel like the Chiefs were defending the run relatively well. If it wasn't that damn QB draw play, it was 5 wide. Hike the ball, that dude was gone every time. I swear it went for 20 plus yards each time he called that play. But yeah, man, just great game overall. Eagles definitely got some. My bad. What?
I'll just add one more thing to this. That I think Jalen Hurts is definitely he might be the best quarterback in the NFC right now because. I don't know about Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is staying.
Yeah, he might go. He might be a Jet. Who knows?
So, because if Aaron Rodgers leaves, I think we'll get into that a little bit later on in the future
Mm,
episodes with NFL free agency coming around. But I believe I can't say our quarterback is better than Jalen Hurts in the NFC right now than Jalen Hurts himself. I mean, the players he's gonna have to go up against quarterbacks. He went up against Daniel Jones. He went up against Brock Purdy, Josh Johnson, and Christian McCaffrey at quarterback for the 49ers. The 49ers, I don't know. I'm worried about that situation with Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. I don't know. I don't know if they have the guy or whatever, but everyone is overhyped on Dak because he's a Dallas Cowboy. I'm not. I think he's just he's a little bit better than Kirk Cousins. That's about it
yeah,
to
a
me, in my
little bit.
opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But I have a feeling that it's going to be Jalen Hurts' conference. But
Yeah,
you're going to include Justin Fields after this year,
of
the
course.
hometown kid.
Come on.
You're going to include the Chicago Bear in this after this year. Like I heard Kurt Warner say on the NFL Network that he's never seen a quarterback go from year one to year two like this big of a growth and this like discrepancy. Like he looks like a completely different quarterback than when he like came into the league and they went to like in his first year. Like he looks completely different.
It just shows what happens when you buy into a system. You buy into a guy. You you give him. You allocate enough time to let him do him. I mean, not every player is going to be like that. Not every player's got that type of Jalen Hurts work ethic or whatever, got the same mentality like I was talking about. A lot of sports is mental. When you get up to the higher levels, dude, nothing. Everyone's maxed out physical builds. You know what I mean? It's what's up here that counts. But you're right, dude. That growth, unparalleled, unparalleled. And I lost my train of thought. I was gonna bring something else up, but yeah. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
Um, as it pertains to like Nick Sirianni and his coaching performance, first I think with him being such a young coach and him having like two young coordinators that obviously have now gone elsewhere with Jonathan Gann going to the Cardinals and Shane Steichen, I think his name is, going to
Yeah,
the
he's at the
Colts.
Colts. Yeah,
I just have a feeling that these young coordinators, they don't know how, like between that, like at halftime being like a half an hour, it's 15 more extra minutes. There's so much more time to make adjustments and come up with different plans and schemes that Andy Reid clearly came up with, or he was just saving in the bags till the second half came along. But it just felt like the Eagles didn't have another gear or another like angle that they could attack the Chiefs with. It just felt like the Eagles scripts, they're when it's scripted in the first half, the whole first halves are scripted for most NFL
yeah,
teams,
yeah, yeah.
stuff like that. Then you make the adjustments and then um, stuff like that in the second half. It just felt like on script they're better than the Chiefs, but when it comes to ad libbing, making adjustments at
Yeah.
halftime, the Chiefs excelled in that realm, and that's the reason why they won the Super
It's
Bowl,
the difference
in my
maker,
opinion.
man. Of championship
Right,
teams, you have adaptability. It's if it's not number one, it's number two, I guess, or like 1A, 1B.
right.
Adaptability,
I
dude. You
mean,
have to be able to. You have to be able to roll with the punches, because especially in high levels, national, NBA, NFL, whatever it may be, you can go off script pretty quickly, pretty quickly.
and I know everyone's talking about the bad flag at the end of the game with the Eagles with Juju Smith getting held on his shoulder. Should have even been called. James Bradbury says that he was holding, but he wished the refs didn't call it or whatever. And a little like cheat code, I want to say that Bill Belichick does, and that this is what Sean McVay said after the Super Bowl 13-3 loss against the Patriots. That the Patriots, if their other team's wearing white, they put on white gloves so they can hold a little bit more, and it's
Mm,
harder to see. They don't Eagles. They didn't have that. They had the green. They had the black gloves on. Chiefs are wearing white. Maybe it looks a little different if you're wearing white gloves and you can't see that. I mean, that's just what a veteran coach knows
yeah,
what to do. Bill
yeah,
Belichick, the Andy Reids, and McVay said, "Yeah, like I was not prepared for that. I didn't think the gloves would be a big difference, or wearing white jerseys would maybe favor me in some realms in cases like that." So it's just like there's little things that obviously the Eagles team's going to learn. I mean, I don't think they're going anywhere with how depleted of a conference I feel like the NFC is compared to the AFC. As we mentioned, like you can name 7 of the top 10
Yeah.
quarterbacks are in the AFC right now. So I don't see the Eagles going anywhere. They have some, some free agency decisions that they have to make. They have to pay Jalen Hurts, of course. So that's obviously gonna take away some money from the other players that they could pay. But
They gave
Eagles
AJ
are
Brown
definitely
some
they'll be
money
back
too.
in some case. Yeah, they'll be
It's gonna
back in some case.
restrict them a bit. But yeah, they'll be all right. They'll be back. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, man, I ain't got nothing else to say about the Super Bowl. I mean, great game though, great event, great event. You see Rihanna? Yeah, great event, great event.
I'm one of those people that I'm not trying to be a hater, bro, but it was like pretty mid. It was
Don't
pretty
tell me
mid.
that. Oh, what? So you mean to tell me you weren't
Bro,
screaming at the TV under my umbrella? No, it
dude,
wasn't you.
her discovery, or whatever that word is called, discovery or whatever it's called, but her music, her catalog music is top 10. I'm just talking about the actual performance, like visually seeing it. Obviously,
Uh,
she's pregnant, she can't do much, but
can't.
like all they have is a red strip in the middle of the field and some platforms, bro. Like
Yeah, what they
nothing
did last
crazy.
year, a lot of people didn't like. It kind of served to a niche the last year performance, but uh, I will say all the props they had and stuff like that. Like they had 50 Cent come out upside down. That was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. But they definitely could have did a little bit more. They put her up in the air though, Rihanna. They lifted her up. You know what I mean? And then she was like
Yeah,
spinning and stuff.
yeah, they
I
lifted her up. Yeah, yeah. That's pretty
Whatever,
lit.
bro.
Yeah. Now let's get into our early Super Bowl threats for next season. It's never too early to start talking about next season when the Super Bowl has just ended. But let's get
Exactly.
straight into it. Dan, who are your threats to make the Super Bowl next year?
I mean, we got the obvious picks. We got the Niners. You know, the Eagles could be back there again. The Chiefs, of course. Bills. I feel like the Dolphins are in that conversation as well too. They were pretty hot before they started to have the quarterback issues, and they made a trade for Bradley Chubb, so that defense will be back. They'll be looking nice again. Uh, I said Bills too, right? Yeah,
Yeah, you
Buffalo.
got Bills.
Uh, but some of my dark horses. Should I just list them off one by one? How you want to do it?
Yeah, you can just start listing them off. We'll come back to it later.
So yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like I feel like one of our rivals in the North, the Vikings. I feel like the Vikings definitely could get there. It just came up a little bit short, but they're almost there. The New York Jets are a piece away from making some big moves and making some big
they're
waves out there.
they're an A rod away. If you know what I
Hey,
mean.
yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Um, the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens. I don't know if you could really call them a dark horse too, but they've been a receiver away for some time now. They just need some different variation on that offense, man. Because when it comes to the playoffs, they're a one-trick pony. It's easy to stop. So, but yeah, we will elaborate later. And my last dark horse, the Jacksonville Jaguars, baby. Yes, sir. You'll see them there for sure. You'll definitely see them there for sure soon. Very soon.
I like that pick. All right, let me list off mine. Obviously, Chiefs, Eagles, just in the Super Bowl. I don't think there'll be too much dip off. There might be a little bit of a hangover, but they'll definitely be in the contenders
Mm.
still there. I think the Bills are still considered a contender. I'm a little worried about them though, just because I felt like they kind of hit their peak and they
You
just
think
couldn't
so?
break through with last year. But I still consider them
How's their cap
contenders.
situation looking too? I don't know about all that. They
It's
gave
not
Von
looking
Miller a
good, but
bag.
it's not looking too good. After that Von Miller, they
Yeah.
definitely have to hit in the draft.
Mhm.
They got to be able to start running the ball too. That's like their biggest problem. They just can't run the ball.
Yeah.
49ers, I will consider them a threat just because of everyone but the quarterback.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Everyone but the quarterback is top tier insane. Coaching staff is insane.
They could
I'm just
easily get a good QB too. I don't know easily, but
maybe
they have opportunity.
they're an A Rod away too, in my opinion.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
they had A Rod, they'd be the team to beat anyway. Um, and then Bengals, Joey
Yeah.
Burr, Joe
Come on, man.
Shiesty, like they'll be there. I mean, those the three-headed monster with the Chiefs, Bills, and Bengals. I
Bengals,
think
yeah.
those are easily the threats. I picked the Dolphins too. I think with Tua another year in the system, everyone's getting used to each other. They got a year under their belts.
Yeah.
I mean, they exploded at the beginning of this year. They were like 7-0 or 7-2 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think they'll be there. I'm putting the Jets and the Raiders in there only if they get Aaron Rodgers.
The
If they don't get,
Raiders. Oakland.
yeah, if they
Or
if they
Vegas.
yeah, if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, then I don't have them in it because they don't have the quarterback, in my opinion. But if they had either one of them had Aaron Rodgers, I'd put him in that threat automatically. Um, I do also have the Jacksonville Jaguars in my Super Bowl threat. T Law, I said obviously like me and you before we started the show or whatever, but like I told you, I thought the Jaguars would make the playoffs before the season
Mm.
started, and I said they would make the playoffs, and they did. I said the year before that the Bengals would make the playoffs and possibly get the Super Bowl with Joe Burrow under their belt, and
They
they did
hit.
that.
Yeah.
So I'm all on board for T Law. I mean, their skill positions too. They
Yeah,
hit
they
on
got some
Kirk. They thought he
playmakers.
overpaid for him. They hit on him. Evan Ingram, he looked like a
They
bust in New York. Now he does not look like a bust at all. He's like
Yeah,
excelled.
he's eating.
Travis Etienne is coming along. Hopefully he can stay healthy for a full season though. I will say that. Zay Jones, I mean, T Law has like he's doing what Mahomes does. He's elevating that talent around him. They don't have a
Exactly.
pure number one wide receiver, but they're elevating that talent to get them to contender level.
The
I
Manning
think
the Manning
defensively,
comparisons. My bad. I don't want to cut you off. I'm just saying the
no,
Manning comparisons
defensively
start now.
too. Defensively too, like they're just gonna get better. Trayvon Walker, he'll be a beast in the league too.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
but teams. I don't agree with the Vikings though, and here's why I don't agree with the Vikings. Kirk Cousins, he's not gonna show up. He's just like Dak Prescott. He's just not gonna show up.
I feel like Kirk is, like I said, one of those QBs where like they clearly have the means to win. They have the means to get the job done. But at the end of the day, bro, in playoffs, it's a mind game, man. You're scheming. You're literally scheming for the other team, bro. Sometimes you get beat mentally, and Kirk Cousins, you can definitely beat him up mentally for sure. All you got to do is put him into the ground a few times, scare him a few times. After the first 3 sacks, if you get enough pressure on a QB in the first half, bro, the defense is always going to be in the back of his mind. No QB wants to get hit by a 6'6", 350-pound guy repetitively by his blind side, especially not someone that can't move like Kirk Cousins. So, like I keep saying, man, you just hit them a little bit, they'll be out the game. But I don't know if yeah, man, maybe you're making me reconsider putting Minnesota up there. I don't like Kirk Cousins. I'm not the biggest Cousins fan myself, but I think with that offense, there's so much talent on that offense, dude. I don't know how you don't overcome that situation. They just invest in your scheme better, invest in a line, figure something out to make Kirk more comfortable so you guys can actually, push forward into the promised land. Dude, Justin Jefferson, that guy is the most broken. He enough said. Like, they need to stop. They need to figure it out quick because that type of talent, dude. You see the hits he's taking. That guy's getting killed. He'll get hit sticked and then he'll just get up and start flexing. No, dude. We know it hurts. But that type of talent, bro. Those type of players, bro. You got to put some the right type. You just got to get them to the promised land, man. You have to figure something out quick. So I don't know, man. I don't know if Minnesota can do it. I said, maybe reconsider.
The Madden franchise, like general manager in me, wants Justin Jefferson to go to the Cincinnati Bengals and do some LSU vibes.
Gosh.
Just because they were not going to win with Kirk Cousins. If you put Aaron Rodgers on the Vikings, they're going to the Super Bowl. You put Derek Carr, I think even if you put Derek Carr on the Vikings, they're going.
I like that take.
To at least conference championship game.
I like that take. I like it.
I'm telling you, dude. Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen. He's not the same, but they still have TJ. They just got TJ Hawkinson.
Mm-hmm.
They have Brandon not Brandon Staley. They have Kevin O'Connell under Sean McVay for all those years.
Mm-hmm.
Rams coordinator genius. Like, everything around him is perfect. Obviously, the defense is horrible. Um, they just got Brian Flores as their defensive
Mm.
coordinator, um, former Miami
I even
Dolphins
forgot
head
about
coach.
that,
So
dude. Okay.
that's a big
Mm.
pickup. But at the end of the day, who's taking the snaps under center? That's literally the most important thing. So that's why I think the Vikings are gonna have to draft a quarterback. I think
Kirko
the Vikings are
Chains,
gonna have to
man. You don't believe in him?
they're going. He's solid. He can't elevate. He just stays the same or drops. He never elevates. Name one. Wow, Kirk Cousins play. Mahomes had two in the Super Bowl. One with running on one leg, and one of the Travis Kelce touchdown thing. You can't name one play that Kirk Cousins has been
You
like,
shut me
oh,
up with that one.
guy's top quarterback in the league, man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I just don't think that. And I only had Eagles and 49ers in my Super Bowl bubble and the NFC. One of them's got a legit quarterback. That's it.
True.
I don't buy Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is just another
Yeah, I
Kirk
was ready to
Cousins to
put the
me.
Giants in there. I don't know. Daniel Jones got to make a Jalen Hurts type leap for me to, you know what I mean? He's
I
getting there. He
think
definitely is improving, but
I think Brian Dable. This reminds me of the Sean McVay, Jared Goff days in LA.
oh
You
really?
can only elevate him so much until he just can't do anything anymore with them, and he needs
But
to learn
Goff's
how to
kind of
throw the
looking.
ball.
He's kind of looking alright in Detroit now.
But I think Goff's better than Daniel Jones. Is my opinion. Is my
Dang,
point too.
dang.
So it's like I don't even think Daniel Jones is going to be able to go above the Jared Goff level.
Yeah, if he
I
can't
mean,
be better than Goff, then there's no chance they're getting to the Super Bowl. No chance.
if you look at the wild card teams in the NFC, or if you look at the teams who made this playoffs in the NFC, Jalen Hurts, stud, 49ers, Brock Purdy. Is he the guy we don't know? Is Trey Lance the guy we don't know?
But even Purdy
Kirk
was playing
Cousins.
well. He was playing well. Yeah.
He was playing well. He's playing damn near as well as Kirk Cousins was.
Yeah,
He
definitely,
outplayed
definitely,
Dak Prescott. That's what I'm
definitely,
saying,
definitely.
dude.
So you're right, dude.
Tom Brady, he's retired. Daniel
Crazy.
Jones, Geno Smith. I like Geno Smith more than I like Daniel Jones. I like him more than I like Kirk Cousins. I
One of
like
the one
Jared
guy
Goff
we're
more than them
missing.
too.
One guy we're missing in the conversation. I mean, I know he didn't really make playoffs. Is Kyler Murray though? Do you? I was gonna ask you. I think it's a good question. Liable to bring it up now. Do you think the Cardinals? You think the Cardinals will be in the playoff picture next year? I honestly think they will be. I think this year was kind of a fluke year. It sucks that J.J. Watt he went out so sad. It sucks, horrible. But
The
maybe it
Cardinals,
was just the coach. I feel like Kyler Murray. You said Jalen Hurts might be the best QB in the NFC. I was hesitant because I felt
I
like
think he
Kyler
is.
Murray.
I don't
He
think.
is
I think he is. I mean, Jalen Hurts went to the Super Bowl. Kyler Murray hasn't won a playoff game. Playoff game he played against the Rams, he got smoked.
very
He didn't want
true.
to get hit. He didn't want to go out there. So I
There's
mean,
learning pains. There's growing pains. Yeah, there is question. There is questions about Kyler's mentality too. So,
his character too. And
mhm.
Jonathan Gannon from the Eagles, he's a defensive coordinator for the Eagles. He just put up 35. They just got 35 points, or 38 points put on him in the Super Bowl. I think the better play would have been Sean Payton in Arizona, but maybe Payton wanted to stay away from the Kyler situation because of
Probably.
character issues, and I guess he wanted to go with Russell Wilson instead. I mean, I don't know how much better that really is. We'll find out. That's one team I thought about putting in, but I did that last year when they had Hackett. I put the Broncos in that contender, and I was so wrong that now I can't put him now with Sean Payton. Even though Sean Payton's a top 5 coach in the league when he was coaching,
Mhm.
I just can't do that right now. I have to see it to believe it now at this point.
You think Russell Wilson is that far gone? I mean,
I was a Russell Wilson believer when he was in Seattle. I said he was a top 5 quarterback. I thought he should have won an MVP at least once, but I don't know if it's him or if it was Hackett. That's the question
I
mark.
feel like it
It's
was
him
a
or Hackett.
I feel like it was a mixture of both at first. But that's because Russ, honestly, he was doing way more to hurt the team than help it. Like by him being there, he was playing through like three different types of like crazy injuries, like some crazy hamstring, and then his lat, and then some. He was just dealing with a bunch of nagging injuries as well on top of that too. So I feel like he just wanted to be there because he didn't want to. That's the type of guy he is. His character, you hear it in every speech he gives. He wants to be
What's
there for his
wrong?
team. So, but
That's what
it,
he puts out, though, is what I'm saying, though. Richard Sherman has come out. Bobby Wagner has come out and says Russell Three's not a team player.
a
Russell Wilson's got
word.
his own off. Russell Wilson's got his own office in Denver. Sean Payton's first press conference when he said, "Yeah, if you're not part of the organization, you're not going to be in the building."
There.
So Team Three is what Russell's group is called. They won't be in the building now. So now we'll see if Russell can do it on his own and can live up to that level that he was once at when he was with the Seahawks and went to 2 Super Bowls and won one. Should have won two, but won the
Man,
basketball instead of run the ball. But
they're
in
paying
the
him
day,
$500 million. You don't think he deserves his own office? You don't think so? I'm just
not when you're
trolling. I'm
playing like
just
that
trolling.
now. Not when
Hell
you're playing
no.
like that now.
No chance.
But I will put either Jets or Raiders up there too, whichever one of them gets Rodgers.
The Raiders are
Or
interesting. I was
Tennessee.
really
If
high.
he randomly goes to Tennessee too, I put Tennessee up in there. You have to when you got Rodgers. I'm saying it comes down to the quarterback at the end of the day.
You
Who
think
is
Rodgers
throwing the
wants to go to
ball?
Tennessee? Hey, he was in Green Bay for however long. Clearly, the destination doesn't matter. That kid just wants to play football. Man, not even a kid anymore.
Yeah.
Almost 40.
I think he would want to go to Vegas. So put on that
Definitely.
black and gold. Devontae Adams there. Josh Jacobs. Hunter Renfro. Darren Waller. You
Yeah, they
kidding
have
me?
weapons. He'd walk right into a situation and go to the Super Bowl.
Josh McDaniels was Tom Brady's coordinator for all those Super Bowl years.
There is the
I
situation
tr-
there.
I trust the Raiders more than I trust the Jets, in my opinion. They've been good. They didn't make the playoffs, but they were supposedly good.
They were very good before
Just
they
this
went
year.
through the QB situation.
I'm saying, man, it all depends on who's your quarterback at the end of the day.
The signal caller, shot caller. Definitely.
Absolutely.
NBA trade deadline just came and went, and lots of moving parts happened. But the biggest one, Kevin Durant, no longer a net. He's in Phoenix with Devin Booker and Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Ethan. You think this makes them the favorites out the West?
The fact that this is the first topic we're talking about for the association is Kevin Durant with the Suns is insane. I mean, I didn't think this was gonna happen. I thought in the off season he would get traded eventually. I thought he would stick it out maybe for
Yeah,
the rest of the
me
year
too.
with
Me
the Nets,
too.
but obviously that wasn't
Because
the
the
case.
Nets were the
I mean,
3 seed, 4 seed at the time.
yeah, there were four, and we could have seen KD for the first time without an actual All-Star.
But there was no chance. There's no chance he wanted to go through that.
But to get back to your first question, I think the Suns are the team to beat. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at it on paper, I mean, we haven't seen it. So just strictly on paper, CP3, point guard, Devin Booker, he shoots lights out. KD shoots lights out. DeAndre Ayton down low, and I think they'll probably start Warren, probably TJ Warren. I think probably power forward maybe. He hasn't played in 2 years, but maybe they won't start him right away. But he's a veteran. He's a good veteran. He gets down low. He'll get down and dirty with them. But on paper, their starting five is better than any starting five in the West right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the roster right now because they gave up a lot of depth. I don't have McHale. They don't have Cam Johnson no more. Big pieces, obviously, but that 5, CP, D-Book, Aiden at the 5, K at the 4. You can or you want to put him at the 3. TJ Warren, they got a few options for that last one. TJ Warren, you could find a way to put in Shamet there if you want some shooting. Torrey Craig's been pretty good. He's pretty good defensively. They still have Damian Lee. He's leading the league in 3-point percentage, shooting 50% damn near. The Suns, I'm not gonna lie, didn't really take as big as a hit as I thought they would. They have Darius Baisley. He was on the Thunder. He's pretty solid himself too. Kid's still young. He's 3-4 years of experience. NBA. I feel like he'll actually play better in Phoenix too than he would in OKC. They play a lot better of a brand of basketball out there in Phoenix. So maybe Monty Williams can unlock something out of him. He's still relatively young. He's seen a lot of basketball, and very versatile player. So, dude, you're right. I honestly do agree with you. I think the Suns, this trade definitely put them top tier. CP3 is not really the same player as he was before. He's not, you know what I mean? He wasn't even an all-star this year, so we don't have to speak on that. But D-Book and K, they'll lead the way. And CP3, CP3 is your your third option, and CP3 doesn't even like to take shots that much. He'll take shots within the flow of the offense, but facilitating wise, dude, that's gonna be some beautiful basketball, man. It might be something reminiscent of San Antonio, that type of ball movement, man, because they have their three main guys. Their three main guys as ball handlers: K, D Book, and CP3. But everybody else, Aiden, he can get his off of touches no matter from who. He's getting the ball from Kevin Durant, D Book, CP. Like I said, CP doesn't shoot that much. In the pick and roll, he's going to be dishing to DeAndre Ayton every single time. He's trying to get the ball down to him. So
no one's going to be in the paint. They're all going to be on the outside.
Exactly. That spacing is crazy.
He'll get easy one-on-one matchups down low. He'll be able to get his.
So I hope they do start Damian Lee, because that spacing would be crazy. 1 through 5 is going to all be able to shoot. I mean, Aiden can't really shoot the 3 like that. He can shoot a little bit, but offensively, you're not leaving DeAndre Ayton by himself. He will get his for sure. So this team, it's too much even for Denver. I feel like I don't think it's too much for Denver. Honestly, I think they can scheme for it. But in my opinion, yeah, I do think they are the favorites in the West.
Yeah, another point too is that Suns put all their chips in for this trade for Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
That buyout market is going to be very key for them to fill out this bench depth too.
Yeah.
As well. I know they're working out LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm not saying he's got much left in him, but he's a veteran. He can give them some height, some length that they need.
For Brooklyn, when he was playing, he wasn't bad. He was not bad. When he was healthy or able to get on the floor, he was not bad. I don't even think he's going to be playing as big of a role as he would be as he was in Brooklyn, that he would be if he went to Phoenix. But I think LA just wants a ring, you know what I'm saying, free ring. And come off the bench, set a few screens, grab a few rebounds, be there defensively, be a presence. He's not really much of a defensive presence anymore. He can't move for nothing.
He just adds length.
Exactly. He's just a big, but yeah.
That needs length.
Him, Biyombo, and Aiden, definitely some big bodies down there for sure. A lot of. They're all vets too. They're all veterans. Yeah. If they get him,
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
I just think that this is the year. Like this is Phoenix's best chance to win a ring.
Oh,
like
most definitely.
This is like the year.
Most definitely.
But they got 25 games left, so I'm a little worried if they're not hitting their stride when the playoffs start, on how that'll look when they play a Denver Nuggets team that's been playing together for the last 5 to 7 years, playing consistent team basketball.
That's very true, very valid.
Talent's great, but you also have to be able to play well together. I mean, you can look back to Brooklyn when you had all that talent with KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. I mean, at the end of the day, you ran into a Celtics team and a Bucks team that just were a better fit team together than the firepower of talent they had with Brooklyn. So it'll come down to
Brooklyn was so injured, man.
I think they will. But I'm worried about, is 25 games enough time for them to be together and as a basketball team. Come playoff time, you got Denver, you got Dallas, Warriors, if they can get healthy back and Steph Curry can actually start playing some actual basketball, and Jordan Poole and them can get back to what they were last year. I don't buy the Kings. I think the Kings are a great story. I think there's always one year, or every year there's always one team that
crazy good, bounce really first round,
else, and they would get bounced out in the first round. I'm not bringing up the Lakers yet. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But there's some teams that could definitely pose a threat to Suns. But if they're hitting stride and they're playing together, I don't think anyone could beat them.
I'm looking at it right now as of today, 2/14, Valentine's Day. The Suns and the Mavericks would be playing first round. So take that as you will. Phoenix is the go-to pick, as we just said, but with that man Luka, anything is possible, bro. Anything is possible. But yeah, I'm looking at the Western Conference right now. Who matches up? Denver's, my gosh, they're 40-18. I haven't even hit 20 losses yet. It's crazy. But
forgot the Grizzlies too.
And the Grizzlies too, yeah, for sure. Here's my thing. You were talking about how they would fit together. You were questioning the fit. I think with players like this, it all depends. If it was, I heard you drew the comparisons to the Brooklyn team, the Brooklyn super team. Yeah, it definitely was a super team. Kai, and James. As much as James Harden wants to come off as a facilitator, bro, like, yeah, we get it. You get 11 assists, all that type of stuff, bro. You need to dribble to air out the ball to get those 11 assists, or you need the ball in your hands at least to do some sort of pick and roll action. And Kevin Durant is not doing no pick and roll action, or neither is Kyrie Irving. He can. It's just not the type of players they are. So
KD doesn't need the ball. We saw that with Golden
that's
State.
what I mean.
He does
and
not need the ball in his hand. He'll shoot
within the offense. That's what I'm saying. So that type of high IQ basketball players, I feel like they'll mesh perfectly fine in Phoenix. That's the type of basketball Monty Williams runs anyways. You see it. They're one of the few teams that still take mid-range jump shots, and Kevin Durant's favorite spot is the mid-range. KD does not miss from the mid-range. KD might be better on the Suns than he was in Brooklyn, somehow, some way. And I think that's just kind of the identity of Phoenix. They want to make they just want to make their guys comfortable. They want to make their go-to guys comfortable. You see how they hold D-Book on a pedestal. They held CP on a pedestal when he was there. CP's kind of taking a reduced role, and I think he will take a little bit of a step back. But I do think with KD, less eyes on him there, I think it'll actually help elevate the looks he gets and his play a little bit too. More freedom, less eyes. But yeah, I think it's a good fit. I honestly do think it's a good fit. KD doesn't really need the ball like that to get open. KD's such high IQ basketball player. Same with CP. And you can still let D-Book do his thing, man. Still let him do his thing. And just have one of them on the floor. One of them on the floor at all times. I don't see how this could really go wrong. But it could go wrong. Who knows?
It could go wrong. Honestly, might be more of a threat than the fit and playing time together. I think it'll fit. It's just, is 25 games enough time going into the playoffs? Enough time to beat a Denver team that's been playing together for 5 years, or a Grizzlies team that's been playing at high level for 3 years? You know what I'm saying, and it's injuries though.
True.
KD's
like you said, true.
Injured. AP3's been injured. Devin Booker has had a couple injuries this season too. Mm-hmm. Can they have that was a problem in Brooklyn. Harden was hurt. If Harden wasn't hurt, the Kyrie was hurt. Kyrie wasn't hurt, the KD was hurt. Do they have enough time to play on the actual court together going into the playoffs? If this was beginning of the season, if we were in the summer still and this trade just happened and the season started, I don't know, today or something like that, then yeah, I wouldn't say fit or playing time is a problem. And back to like when you said with the mid-range, they could arguably have the three range players in the game on the same team right now.
Yeah.
KD, Devin Booker, and CP3. And when you get in the playoffs, defenses start pressing you a little bit more on the three-point line.
You're gonna need those shot creators.
Compressed it in the lane a little bit. The shot creators in that mid-range just opens up a little bit more and is more important come playoff time when you can't get a three off because everyone's, locking
that's
you
really
up, and then
the main emphasis, yeah.
Compressing down. So those are the only two worries, and I think those are least amount of worries when it comes to other teams. Denver Nuggets, they're wondering if the team can actually win. The Suns on paper, we know they can win. They went to the finals without Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is probably the easiest plug and play person.
Yeah, you can put him in any roster and he'll be just fine.
So everyone has issues, and Phoenix has their issues as any other team does. But I'd much rather be Phoenix than any other team in the West right now.
My one concern I did just think of actually, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. Phoenix did lose them, so the only issue I could see with them is figuring out how their system works. Maybe not offensively, because offensively you gained so much more. Kevin Durant offensively is way better than Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson combined. There's you got so much better on that end. But defensively, though, that fit, they did a lot for them. Cam Johnson was playing shooting guard, small forward, power forward. He was sometimes guard the 5 too. He was switching all over the place. Same thing with Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges was in Defensive Player of the Year combos last year. Huge loss. So systematically on defense, Kevin Durant, he's lost a bit of a step on defense too because you can't really move as well post injuries or whatever. Yeah, Achilles. It takes a little bit away. He's still Kevin Durant, but they just got to figure out how to compensate for that on defense. So if they do end up losing, I feel like it's because their defense will be exploited. Definitely not on the offensive end. They got way too much firepower on that. And Monty Williams, though, he's a very good coach. I feel like he'll be able to, make things gel, make things work. But yeah, my only concern with that roster right now is on the defensive end. Other than that, bro, it's a good night. Rest of the league. I think it's over.
And that's why I think the buyout market is like the number one thing.
Who's on the buyout market right now?
As it pertains to this roster, just because they need more defense and they need more length. If they can find that in the buyout market, then I think they're setting themselves up as best as they could going into the playoffs.
I saw Danny Green. He went to he's planning to go to the Cavs. Reggie Jackson's planning to go to he's planning to go to Denver. And they're planning to go with Terrence Ross, Phoenix. They're planning to sign him. So they're already starting to make some moves on the buyout market. But yeah, Terrence Ross, he's a bit of a 3-and-D. I don't know how much of it he has left in him, but
he's a veteran too. He knows how to play defense. He's a veteran
presence for sure. Dwayne Dedman, he went to the Sixers. That's interesting. But yeah, on the buyout market, they still got Stanley Johnson's there, John Wall, Serge Ibaka, Bryn Forbes, and Pat Bev. So those are the major ones.
I feel like
and Westbrook's going to be there too. Yeah, Ibaka would be he would be a very, very nice addition. And he's cool with KD too. Good relationship.
Johnson would be pretty good too. He'd be a good wing defense. He's a good wing player.
He played good. Yeah. Will Barton maybe.
They're not stuck.
Will Barton maybe. Derrick Rose maybe. I'd love to see D Rose in Phoenix. I want to see D Rose get a ring, baby. D Rose in Phoenix, man.
The Bucks might be interested in D Rose. I heard.
Go to Milwaukee. Just get you a chip, D Rose, please. But yeah, the Lakers too.
Sure.
You want to speak about the Lakers? We'll talk about the Lakers.
All right, now brings it to the purple and gold. Now, as people probably know, I'm a big Lakers fan. Last couple of years have been pretty hard to deal with and grasp. It's been unwatchable at times too, especially this season. But we won the trade deadline. We definitely won it. I mean, besides Phoenix, we definitely won. Besides Phoenix, we definitely won. Bringing back D'Lo, icing his veins, getting Vanderbilt, big wing player, adds length. We needed that because we know AD doesn't like playing center, so get some more length down there. And then Malik Beasley, which is a very underrated steal. He's a 3-and-D guy. Can put the ball in the net when he's shooting from long range, which is exactly what LeBron James needs. He needs shooters and defenders, and I can't believe we got all of that with
for a first round pick and a second round pick swap. You didn't even lose the second round pick. You just get the worst of the second rounders. It's just a swap.
So Rob Pelinka, he took a rare dub. He took a rare dub.
You know, the DMs between me and you, man. You know, I was trashing that man for the longest time, and there's nothing else for me to say, dude. This is a huge W for you guys, and you didn't even bring up Mo Bamba. You guys got Mo Bamba too.
I'm worried about him, dude. Him in LA, I don't know, man. LA's different.
The cap might be too much. You think he might turn into Kuzma again? Something like that?
It sweeps you up. It sweeps you up, man. I mean, you look at everyone who leaves LA, they start playing better because they're.
But he was in Orlando. Orlando, Florida, pretty big too. But it's not LA.
Yeah, but LA is sunshine, Hollywood, movie stars, celebrities, like. And Mo Bamba's been in the limelight too, with obviously Mo Bamba the song.
True.
So like,
true.
I don't know. He might try to capitalize on that now. Be like, yeah, that song's named after me.
I wonder. I wonder
I
how
mean,
the.
he's a player.
I wonder how Crypto Arena is gonna sound when Mo Bamba's starting, and they play the Mo Bamba song. It's gonna go crazy. It's gonna go
All the
crazy.
LA girls are just gonna go swoop into him, and he's got to back it off, bro. It's basketball mode.
You know what's funny though? We're having this conversation about Mo Bamba, but we shouldn't. I mean, a few years ago, we would be having this conversation about D'Angelo Russell, the growth he's made. I'm a big D'Lo guy. I'm a big D'Lo fan. I've been a big D'Lo fan since he got drafted to the Lakers. When they traded him, it hurt me so much that I was no longer a fan of the Lake Show. I can't lie. He's back. I'm not a Laker fan anymore. Uh, that ship has sailed. But I will say, I want to see you guys do well. I want to see you guys because this roster, bro. D'Lo, Malik Beasley. I've been a Malik Beasley fan too. And Jared Vanderbilt is a huge piece. Super underrated. Super underrated. So I hope he really shows up for you guys too. And just these four players for a first rounder and a second round pick swap, you changed literally like a 30-year roster, bro.
And we got rid of Russell Westbrook
It's the biggest one.
along with that, which is honestly more important of a move than actually getting those players back, which was getting rid of Russell Westbrook. I always liked Russell Westbrook. I thought he played hard.
Of
He
course,
just didn't fit
it,
in the system of the Lakers, and that's nothing against him, and it's nothing against the Lakers themselves.
it's just
I didn't think they should have made the move in general, but when they first acquired Russ, but I just it's better we got rid of the contract now, and then actually getting those players back, which is big as well. But
yeah,
getting rid of Russ is the most important thing.
50 million off the books, and you got a bunch of expiring deals too. D'Lo, his contract runs out, so
Yeah, I
Mo
mean,
Bamba's only a 2-year deal.
If D'Lo plays well, we can give him some money. If he doesn't play well, then we can let him walk.
Yeah, exactly. Just figure
Simple.
something out. Figure something out.
Right.
You think the Lakers won the trade deadline, or the Suns, or the Nets? Because the Nets got a pretty big return too. I don't think Brooklyn won, but I think Brooklyn will be pretty okay in the long run.
I'd go Suns, Lakers, Nets.
It's fair, very fair, very fair. How do you feel about Brooklyn's roster? Right? I mean, I don't know if you know it off the top of your head, but
They just got wing galore, man. It's just wing, 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 wing.
I think
wing,
we're gonna
wing,
make some
wing.
more moves in the offseason for sure. We're gonna try and cash in on one of these game changing prospects, bro.
It just
Because
feels like
this
they didn't know
draft
what they
is
were
stacked.
doing.
Who
Like when
Brooklyn?
they traded, it's just they traded for Royce O'Neal as if they were trying to still compete. But
Yeah,
why
in the
would you trade for
offseason.
Royce O'Neal? You could have gotten way more for KD than did right now. It just doesn't. It feels like Brooklyn. They were trying to go two different directions. They wanted to keep KD and they wanted to build up the roster, and then they wanted to trade KD last minute, and they couldn't get enough back, and then all that together just puts so many wings on the team. And I mean, they got a bunch of picks for it, but we don't know how those picks are going to turn out. Those picks could be amazing. Those picks could be horrible. So
True.
at the end of the day, it just feels like the Nets, with the cards that they were dealt with all the situation going on around the organization,
No, the cards they were dealt with. Oh my bad. Finish your thought. Finish your thought. I'm sorry. Because
it just felt like they were going two different directions, and they
oh
could have gotten even more for KD than they actually.
oh yeah, definitely. Because I was looking back this past free agency. Yeah, free agency. Dude, the trade offers they were getting for KD, they declined the initial Suns offer. It was they wanted conversations to start with Devin Booker. That's how high they value KD. And they ended up with Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges and four first rounders is it's no joke, bro. We'll take 4 first rounders for sure, but the
I will say this,
conversations,
Rudy Gobert went for 5 first-round picks. Rudy Gobert went for 5 first-round picks. That's
dude,
ridiculous. And you only get 4 for KD.
it's just it
KD
leaves
should
a
have
bad
been
taste in
7
your
first-round picks, bro.
leaves a bad taste in your mouth, bro. But the conversations in the offseason for KD trades, it was DeAndre Ayton swap. Mikal Bridges was in there too. I think they were even trying to get Chris Paul, maybe, bro, or something
Suns
crazy.
offered Chris Paul reportedly.
Yeah,
Suns
yeah.
offered Chris Paul reportedly.
And they offered DeAndre Ayton too and Mikal Bridges. Those three, they could have got so much more. picks. They're trying to make it a 3-team deal because the Nets wanted so much for that guy. I think the Suns. I saw a report about it too now. I think the Suns too. They were trying to pair KD and Kyrie, get them to come to Phoenix along D-Book. That's why they were throwing in CP3 so willingly. But hindsight's 2020. It is what it is. We're in the now. And Brooklyn, they got themselves a little future. I cannot lie. Cam Thomas's play, hopefully it's sustainable. Hopefully he keeps doing not 40 every night. If he wants to get 40 every night, I'm not complaining. But hopefully it's semi-sustainable. You see? And the kid, the sky's the limit for that kid. The kid averaged 20 as a freshman in LSU. It was no joke. He was really handing out buckets. He's like that. He's been like that for a long time. And Mikal Bridges too. I'm excited to see what he can do too, because I know he's got a lot more offensively wise in the bag. Definitely. He just didn't have the freedom to show it in Phoenix. So hopefully he can show some growth on that end too. Cam Johnson, just keep doing what he does. I'm not too sure how much more growth he has, but I think he's a nice piece. He's on a championship team for sure. But yeah, Brooklyn, it's looking like they're kind of gonna go undergo a little bit of a rebuild and try and figure out what direction to go. Because right now, you think Cam Thomas is the guy, they're not even starting him really. So I don't know if it's just growing pains or whatever, but yeah, Brooklyn, they got some questions to go, but they have a decent future. They're kind of in like OKC spot right now. They're just a lot better than OKC standings wise, but they have a lot of assets, a lot of bright young talent. The future looks bright for them.
I agree.
Yeah,
we'll just have to see and wait.
Yeah. But who else made trades? Who else did some trades? The Timberwolves in that deal, they got Mike Conley. I don't know about the Timberwolves, man. I think they're just going to be stationary too. Their first round exits, but
when you give up 5 first round picks for a dude, yeah, you can't do much else, dude.
Jeez, man. And they got rid of D'Lo too, just for Mike Conley. Is Mike Conley? You think he's going to push the envelope for those guys? Maybe it's just they needed something different than D'Lo.
No, bro. I'd rather have D'Lo than Mike Conley.
I think so. I honestly think so. Dude, I feel like D'Lo's, at this point, he's kind of underrated. I don't know if it's because I'm a fan. Ant's going to want to get out of Minnesota soon, man. Soon enough?
Ant wants to win.
They better pay him.
Ant's a baller, bro. He'll get paid no matter where he goes. Ant's a baller.
Very true.
Ant just seems like a Nick, man.
You think so?
Knickerbocker, bro.
I would go crazy. I would go crazy if he went to the Knicks. They would be very problematic, bro. Super problematic. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll wait and see. We gotta see what the trade deadline looks like. A few games in, you see how Kyrie's playing with the Mavs. He's doing all right.
Yesterday, they just didn't get a shot off.
Yeah, I was going to say because they're trying to defer into each other.
No, you shoot it. I'm just like, just get one. Just get who doesn't matter. Just shoot it.
Bro, right. Both of them, bro. No one's going to be mad. I wouldn't be mad, bro. Kyrie's stupid clutch. Luka, crazy clutch. Both of them. Dang, that's a good question. Who do you want taking that last shot? Luka because he's the franchise, or Kyrie because Kyrie?
I want Kyrie. Just
bro, give me the franchise. I want Luka.
I just seen Kyrie do a Game 7 NBA Finals, yuck it in Curry's face. So that's who I want. I've seen him do it. I mean, Luka's done it too, but I'm talking about at the biggest stage, Game 7, games on the line. Who you want taking the ball? I want Kyrie.
That's fair. That's fair enough. Yeah, Kyrie's got some cojones. I can't lie. I don't blame you.
Both answers are valid.
Exactly. But that just goes to show, bro, the dynamic of that Dallas Mavericks team. They got some play. They didn't give up Christian Wood in that trade. They still got C Wood. I don't think Christian Wood. I don't think he's bad. I just don't know if he's. I think he's borderline all-star talent. I don't know because sometimes he'll go ghost. I don't know if he's really a player in the playoffs. You can scheme for Christian Wood. You can take Christian Wood out the game. So I don't know how much like true help he will be to them. He's a very good player for sure, but other than Kyrie, and Kyrie was a very big addition, great addition because they fleeced him too. Fleeced them. They ain't really lose much. But
Well, I don't think they wanted much.
gosh, man, that Brooklyn Nets front office is just wow. But different conversation. The roster for the Dallas Mavericks is more question marks. So Josh Green, he's getting more opportunity. He's doing good with the opportunity though, so I think they'll be all right on that end. But rim protection wise,
Harkey, right?
huh?
Isn't there a kid named Harkey on Mavericks too? Harkey, whatever his name is.
Harkey? Oh, Hardy. Jay Hardy? Jalen Hardy.
Hardy.
Yeah. He's definitely, yeah. They need to give him more minutes too. They got a lot of guards though. So I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna play. He's got to show something in practice, I guess.
I feel like the Mavericks are a team that needs to be selling their guards to getting back pieces that fit a little bit better. Just because Luka is literally the offense. I mean, he's dribbling the ball and holding on to that ball till there's like 5 seconds left on the clock. And at that time, when he's either taking it up himself or he's dishing it out, and he expects the shot immediately. Luka just reminds me of what you need to do with LeBron. You need to get him shooters and defenders, in my opinion. And
so this Kyrie matchup, I think,
get more of that.
If it's anything like it was with Bron, then Luka and Kyrie, excuse me, they'll be okay. They'll be all right. They'll be okay.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I'm looking at the roster. Frank Ntilikina. When was the last time you heard that name? He's on there too. They got him as a point guard, but I think they even play him on the wing.
Drafted him.
And that's it. You ain't heard from him since. He was supposed to be the next big thing. But
a lot of Knicks players are supposed to be the next big thing.
There's just so many players like that were just hyped up and just never panned out. Like Don McCurry was supposed to be big for the Bucks. He was supposed to be that guy. But hey, it is what it is.
All right, Dan. That's it for this one. We'll see you guys back here on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.